Hello everyone, this is Ashley. We're going to be doing the Love Quickies for the week of August 13th. Friday the 13th. Okay. So it's going to be an interesting week for sure. If you don't follow me yet on Instagram, I have that linked below. I do a daily update that has a card reading and the alignments, astrological alignments for the day. And today's was really interesting, and I think we're going to continue to see that until the full moon. We're going to do earth, air, fire, water, and I will timestamp everything down below in the description box, so that you can check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus placements to see what messages might be coming through for you. So we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to do Earth first. I'm using both the Romance Angels and my Kipper deck. We'll just see what comes through for that. I have not yet used this particular deck in any of my readings yet, so we'll see. And then we're going to use the Light Seers Tarot. I do have links for all of those down below if you're interested. Okay, so let's get going. So Taurus, we have engagement. It says your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Virgo, we have let your friends help you. Ask for and accept help from others. And then Capricorn, we have new love. That's exciting. A new person has stirred romantic feelings. And then we have pathway, imprisonment, and despair. All right. So I'm going to obviously shuffle the tarot deck. I've already pre-shuffled the other two, but I'm going to shuffle the tarot deck as we go. And then we'll obviously look at each sign. But if you don't want to watch me shuffle, you can just skip to your particular sign. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the week of August 13th. Love. All right. So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. All right, got some majors going on there, Capricorn. All right, Taurus. All right, so let's see if I can. We have the World, Six of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles. It does feel like perhaps there, with this pathway card, I'm seeing all these butterflies on the card, and it is a number 8, so it does feel like there's probably been some personal healing, personal work that's been going on here. But it does look like someone's headed for marriage, or just if marriage is not for you, it does feel like a higher level commitment. Specifically because of this Queen of Pentacles. I always see the King and Queen of Pentacles as spouse material. I do feel like this is a person from your past, someone you may have known in childhood or has come back around for a commitment. And I do feel like with this World card, it's been like a cycle that's happened. I almost feel like the person that this commitment is happening with, it may have even been a past relationship that ended, and for a period of time, you were not on the same path. So that's kind of what I'm getting from that. Specifically because on this World card, we have the Ouroboros symbolism. So like a death, rebirth kind of scenario here. Yeah, so that's looking really good. It does look like that the, it could have been based, this ending, this different pathway felt like a sort of a personal transformation kind of situation with that 8 numerology there. And I'm almost feeling like part of it was related to kind of just building resources. Could have been you or your person or both. It almost feels like you went separate ways at some point to kind of just almost like a coming of age kind of thing. Like perhaps you were together as a younger couple, and now that you're both on stable ground, financially, work-wise, that kind of thing, that cycle has ended and you're coming together for an adult, more mature commitment here. All right. Virgo. So I do feel like there's probably been a situation here that ended for you. It could even be like a financial constraint here. With this imprisonment card, there's something in your path that relationship-wise was perhaps not completely balanced. Like there was probably some breadcrumbing. It could very well, I'm feeling a lot of like financial responsibility here. Like perhaps this person in the past took more than their fair share because of this trapped energy here with the imprisonment card. It almost feels like too that perhaps this relationship was something you struggled to extract yourself from. Now it does look like we have 2 cards here of friends. So I do feel like your friends have been very supportive. It could also be that you have been looking to other seers, like tarot readers, psychics, that kind of thing, for input on this situation. Especially with this 3 of Cups here. You can see we have all this feminine energy, and the stars here that they're looking at are the 7 sisters. So Pleiadian energy coming through there. And it does feel like this, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, this little cherub is holding a crystal ball. So you could have been consulting mystics, that kind of thing, or just friends for their advice on what to do. And it does feel like this was, a spiritually driven kind of growth here. And I say that because this 29 breaks down to 11. So a master number. And then I'm also really clearly seeing that in the distance on this card, it's like they're on the outside of a church because there's all these statues in the background here. And so it does feel like this was a particularly challenging change, something you felt stuck in, something that wasn't, it feels like this was probably toxic, unbalanced, but we do have the Ace of Cups. So a lot of healing has been taking place, but I do feel like a new beginning is coming here. Something that's very heart-centered, and it does feel even, right? It feels like in the past it wasn't. And after having learned from that scenario, I feel like there's something about this Ace of Cups here that, because I'm also seeing this like infinity sign. So I feel like the things that you've put in the past are coming back around to you in the form of a new beginning here. So I like that. It does look like it's been a bit of a struggle, but I think that you've had some help along the way. All right, Capricorn. All majors here. We have Death and Rebirth, the Judgment, and the Hierophant. So we have new love, a person has stirred your romantic feelings, and we have despair. And I'm noticing it says not hiring in the background. So I feel like we've got a couple of people coming in here. I feel like there is a new person coming in. It's like this lady's carrying a basket, and she's got eggs in one and chickens in the other. And then she has this knight character that's coming up, and she's getting ready to hand him one of her eggs. So it's almost like, you know, the putting your eggs in one basket kind of thing. I think that happened in the past, and it led to this challenging despair type energy, right? But I think it's almost like she's getting whispers from these little angels in her ear. And I think she's being more selective. Like maybe she's only going to offer one egg instead of the entire basket of eggs, right? And there's this balancing act here that she's got going on across her shoulders, holding up both baskets. So that's what I'm seeing with that. I do feel like there's a new love coming in. I also feel like this person from the past is returning. So, but I don't think you're gonna take it. I think that this could have been a marriage situation. I do feel like this was a soul connection that was here to teach you something almost like spiritual in nature, because he has that stairway to heaven looking in the background here. But with Judgment, I think what you're finding is that you put so much into this past relationship, and then when it ended, you literally had nothing. Now that might not be the actual situation, but this guy looks pretty destitute. He can't get a job, and he even has a little pet down there to feed, and it's like he has nothing. His shoes are untied. I mean, he's looking pretty rough. And then there's all these people inside this building that says not hiring. It's like, it's kind of like the Five of Pentacles kind of energy, like being left out in the cold. And I think you gave a ton to this past relationship. So I think what's coming through is that you've learned this spiritual lesson here with regard to that past relationship. And now what's coming out is like this rebirth type energy. It's almost like she's wearing like a tank top here, but the person that's coming out is like in a fancy new dress and just looks more like free and clear here. So I think that I do think you have another soul connection coming in. But with Judgment, I do feel like you have a choice. So it's going to be kind of one of those scenarios between the old and the new. I think they're going to show up at perhaps even the same time looking for your love, Capricorn. So you have a decision coming in. All right, let's move on to air. Let's see what we have coming in. Oops. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius for the week of August 13th. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra. Just saw the Emperor. Aquarius. All right, Gemini, we have Free Yourself and Distant Horizons. Libra, we have Unrequited Love and House. And Aquarius, we have Worth Waiting For and Courthouse. We'll see what comes from that. All right, Gemini. Libra. And Aquarius. Oh my. Okay. All right, Gemini, free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. As you can see on this card, we have a unicorn that's in a very tiny little gated area. And then on the distant horizons, we have the ship with this giant anchor that has been pulled up. And the ship is actually sailing in the sky, way up above the actual ocean here. Now, one thing I am noticing is I don't think you'll be able to see it on here, but there is a, let's see, it's at, well, You can see there's a seahorse there. So I do feel like there's probably a soulmate connection that is coming in, but I feel like what's kind of going on here, I almost feel like you have been stuck, like unable to travel. Could be a thing that's coming or been happening for you. I feel like that came through in some of the readings for mid-month as well. So it's like this travel restrictions that have been going on, and perhaps they're doing some more crackdowns and slowing things down, but it's like maybe at this point you're finally able to pull anchor and break free from something, and that allows you to move towards this soul connection. Now we do have the Page of Swords, the Seven of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. So a couple of things here. I do feel like there's probably been some text messaging, maybe even online communication. You could have met someone online and then you were just unable to meet due to travel restrictions or just being at such a far distance from one another. And with the Seven of Cups and the Queen of Swords, it's almost like the distance itself caused some lack of clarity as to whether or not this person was your person, right? Like when you can't meet in person and really get a feel for someone. And I'm kind of focusing on the fact that he's kind of almost like hemming and hawing over which of these bowls to choose. And there is like this ocean in the background. So again, I'm feeling like this is probably a distance related type scenario. But I do feel like when you meet, suddenly the clarity comes in. It's like there's been all this verbal, mental kind of activity with this Page of Swords. Like, you know, texting, emails, online communication. And you're not sure how you feel about it with the Seven of Cups because you have been apart. And so it does feel like as you come together, as you're finally able to travel, the clarity comes in with this Queen of Swords. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out. But one thing, like I said, the only thing that's really coming through is like kind of a trigger for me that this is a positive thing, is that seahorse there. Because I don't know if you know about seahorses, but they mate for life. So looks like you're breaking free. You're finally going to be able to travel and perhaps meet this person face to face. And then the emotional piece comes in more clearly. So that's what I'm getting for Gemini. Let's see, Libra. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And it's interesting because it looks like all these little angels are, it's like they're praying that this person develop feelings, but like it's clearly not something that is emotionally fulfilling for you because, you know, we have the Four of Cups. We have all these empty cups here. And she's not yet seeing this bonus cup over here. But on the traditional Four of Cups, for Rider-Waite, it's like a card of apathy, dissatisfaction, a lack of emotional fulfillment, because the love is unrequited. Like, you may feel like you have all these feelings and it's not reciprocated. And so it's not emotionally fulfilling for you. Now, with the house energy, I almost feel like you've kind of been kept out. Like, there's this gate here in the front. So there's been like this lack of intimacy. Like, perhaps you haven't been able to visit this person at their home, right? Or something's going on in their home life, and I feel like it's maybe a little bit hidden, like, because we have this like eclipse like energy going on up here. Something's being hidden. That moon is covered up. You won't be able to see it, I'm sure. But it's like an eclipse is taking place, and there's like this fog and these clouds. And so this really pretty, large, pretty house is kind of shrouded in mystery. So it could translate to a lack of security for sure within this relationship, because it's one-sided. But I also feel like maybe there's some secrets going on in their home life that are not quite revealed to you, Libra. But on a positive note, we have the Hermit and the Magician. So I think what this has done, and it's put you in the Hermit mode. So it's been a situation that's been bothersome enough to you emotionally that you've gone into a reflection on this. And what you're going to come out with is the resources to manifest something different for yourself. And there's like all this brightness around him. So, and with that infinity sign above his head, this does feel like 8-8 Lionsgate kind of energy here. But I do feel like it's kind of been a rough go. I almost don't even feel like this has been that long term of a situation. So that's what I'm getting for you. I do feel like it's coming out on the other side in a positive way, Libra. All right, Aquarius. Here we have worth waiting for. It says divine timing is at work in your love life. So definitely some on hold situation there. And then we also have the courthouse. So you could have been dealing with a divorce type scenario, or a situation that was like there was judgment being passed. And not necessarily from an actual judge, but like it was almost like somebody wasn't making a choice here, and that's why the waiting was happening. Now you could have literally been waiting for a divorce so that you can move on into something new. But I would assume that the majority of you have really just been waiting because someone in the dynamic hasn't been making a decision. And I'm noticing that he has more than one scroll in his hands. So it could be, I also noticed that there were 2 women in this card. So this may not be for all of you, but there could very well be a choice in love between 2 people, okay? Now we have the 4 of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, and the Tower. So something is coming in here that is forcing freedom. someone here has been holding on to a situation. It could be a past relationship. It could be just financial security, right? And this Four of Wands is, you know, a celebration. I feel like whatever this Tower moment is, it comes in and it finally breaks you free. Now, in this month alone, we have a ton of Aquarian activity, and that is directly related to Uranus, which breaks things up. Sudden shock. You see that bolt of lightning? So, alignment-wise, this makes sense. Something's coming through and breaking up what once maybe felt secure, and could have very well been a twin flame union with that Four of Wands. That's the 1111 card. But I do feel like it's perhaps not the easiest shock, because when we're in the Four of Pentacles energy, we are holding on tight. You see how she's like clinging to that purse? And she's kind of off away from this little city here. And the city, the way it looks in the card, it almost looks like a really poor little town. Like everyone's laundry is hanging out outside. And so it could have been that this past relationship, this could have been a marriage, somebody was holding on to this. Perhaps both of you were. Not just for financial security, but also just from, you know, the devil you know versus the devil you don't kind of energy. But there's freedom coming in here and transformation. I think it's interesting that this lightning strike is coming in and hitting this, I don't know, tree, mound. But the squirrel, all of his acorns are kind of scattering too. So it could very well be that the price of freedom is a little bit of loss of money here, right? But I'm also feeling like with 2 4s, we have a past person and potentially a new one, a new union. So that plays into that, perhaps 2 suitors or